welcome to Let's Talk Stroke. I am your host and stroke survivor, Jerry Wall. For those of you that are new here, I started doing this show um, years ago to bring awareness to stroke, TBI, aphasia, brain injury, also to provide a platform for all survivors from literally from all across the world to share their stories so they can inspire and let us know that you're not alone. And also bringing on experts in brain health so they can share their knowledge with us so we could learn more about them. So this morning, my guest is Maria Garcia, and she'll be telling you about her story years ago, but amazing, so inspiring. So please ask questions, make comments, and if you haven't done that so far, please subscribe to my YouTube channel called Let's Talk Stroke. And I appreciate you guys being here, and um, looking forward to you welcoming Maria here. So let's just get started here. That was quick. All right. Good morning, Marie. Good morning, Kim. Okay. Whew, long morning, but that's okay. I love it. So, good morning, everyone. I appreciate you guys being here, and um, good morning.
Hey, great morning, Jerry.
Ah, yeah. So, just to let you know, in the on the right side, you should be able to see comments there.
I do.
There we go. Ah,
Hello, everybody.
good morning, and Serena. Look, okay. I always wonder when people say they looking handsome this morning. So, in other words, other mornings I don't look good. I guess. Just had to throw that out there. So, thanks for being here. I appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for having me. And you're welcome.
Absolutely.
It's a pleasure.
Ah, now you had your stroke, I mean, years ago.
Yeah, I was in 2005 in January, so it was right at the beginning of the year.
Wow, yeah, 2005. So close to 20 years about. Wait,
Yeah,
yeah, wow. So what were you doing before your stroke? Who was Maria? What were you doing? Who are you?
I was. I went to college. I finished college. I didn't want to go to work right away in my career, so I thought, let me go live in Europe. And so that's
Oh,
what I did for 2 years.
wow.
I learned German because I figured, oh, that's going to help me when I go in my career because I studied finance. And knowing German, the euro is based on the German mark, so that might help me someday. But
Right.
anyway, I was just putzing around Europe and it was
Nice,
great.
nice. Wow, that's great. That's awesome. Good old finance business. I understand that. Yeah. So before your stroke, you did you know what was going on when you had your stroke, or?
Not at all. Not
Mm.
at all. It was at the hospital when they said to me, Miss, we think you're having a stroke. And I thought to myself, what's a stroke?
Yeah.
I'd never even heard of the word because I
Yeah.
was 25 years old
Wow.
and the word wasn't in my vocab.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I totally understand that. I was naive, fairly the same. Didn't know what a stroke was. I thought it was just that's something that happened to older people. Didn't know what it was though. But wow. So you were in the hospital.
Yeah, the way I got to the hospital is because we had had a gorgeous lunch at my mom's. And suddenly, when I was on the phone with somebody, I started saying things that made zero sense. Like, the bed is saying that it's red, the ocean is near my kitchen table. And I was like, what? What are the words coming out of my mouth? And I couldn't understand why the words coming through me were not the words I was thinking of.
Yeah.
So I managed to get off the phone. At that moment, I had the worst headache I've ever experienced.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, I understand that. Was it what type of stroke was it? Do you know, hemorrhagic or ischemic or?
It was ischemic.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Pretty amazing. So, how long did you spend in the hospital?
Whew, that was a saga. That was a saga because within 24 hours, I was paralyzed from here down, which means I was unable to speak, unable to move. It's what's known as locked in
Yes.
this community. And I spent nearly 2 months at one hospital and then a full 2 months at the rehab center.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. 4 months there. That's quite the ordeal. I understand that as well. Wow. So from that, I mean, how did you cope? I mean, did you when you left the hospital, did you go home? I mean, with your were you living at home or no? You were.
You know what? I had just gotten back from Germany. It
Wow.
was in that 6 month time period. So at the time, I was living with my parents,
Right.
which
Well,
was a lifesaver for me because they really took care of me.
yeah, I bet. Yeah, no, good for you. I mean, good for you that you were living with your parents. I mean, because if you, I just wonder how would it have been if you were in Germany.
They probably would have had to fly me back. I don't know.
Yeah. Wow. So so now, I mean, for the last 20 years, what were you doing after stroke? I mean, did you try to get back to work or
Well, as you can imagine, the whole thing sucked. As all stroke survivors know what an uphill battle that is. I, the first time I realized just what condition I was in the rehab center. I was handed a hairbrush. I could move one hand, barely at the time, and I was told, comb your hair. And my thought was, okay, that's easy. I got the brush up to about here.
right?
And when I realized I couldn't do it, I began sobbing
Yeah.
uncontrollably, and I realized, holy cow, this is gonna be really, really uphill battle.
Yeah, 25 years
Really uphill.
old.
Yeah. And I had a trach. I also
Y-
had a feeding tube. When I went home, first they said remove the trach already, and the feeding tube was gone. But I went home in a wheelchair, wearing diapers,
I know.
which I didn't even know was a thing. I didn't know they make adult diapers. Right. And here I am at 25 wearing diapers.
Yeah, I know it really humbles you. It just, your pride. I mean, I'm sure with you, like all of us, I mean, when you're in the hospital, I don't know if you remember, if they're bathing you, they're just doing everything. You're thinking, my gosh, this is just what's going on.
And it was especially awful for me because I never lost any cognitive abilities. So I
Really?
remember everything.
To this date,
Yeah.
good for you. I mean, oh, maybe not, but
Right.
so now you're, I hate to fast forward, but so you spent really 4 months inpatient in the hospitals, plural, and then trying to walk, talk. I mean, speech therapy, all that.
I don't
You-
know if anybody had the same experience as well. My eyes became cross eyed, even because the muscles on my left eye were so weakened that my eyes were crossed. So here I am, 25 years old, wearing diapers, cross eyed. When people would see me on the street, they would look at me with pity in their eyes, and it was horrible. But anyway, to answer, Heather, your question, it took me about 8 years to get to 70% recovered. But the first movement I made was in the next finger, about 1 centimeter. And it was such a slow progression.
yeah, who knew? I mean, exactly. A lot of people think, okay, okay, I had a stroke. I'm going to be brand new here in just a little bit.
Right. I thought the same thing. I mean, when I was in the first hospital, I didn't know what a stroke was.
Right.
However, I thought to myself, okay, I'm going to be here tops 2 weeks, and then I'm going to go home. That's what I thought.
Yeah. 2 weeks. Now, I mean, who knew? I mean, yeah, I know, Serena. I know. Yeah, your
Thank you.
speech is awesome. Yeah, it's a great community. Kevin, nice. It's nice to see you guys here. I appreciate making comments, asking questions, because we all. I know this. We all want to. Um, uh, Kevin, yeah, from Delaware. Thanks for letting us know where you're from. I know Serena's from Nova Scotia, Canada. Thank you for being here. There's quite a few people out here, and I appreciate it. Cindy, nice to see you. Uh, there's I love the questions. I don't know if you're okay with that. People ask
Oh yeah.
questions. They want to, what I don't know. You hate to compare with somebody else, but it's nice to know, we're not alone, and there's what they're going for. Right? Cindy, do you have people now that treat you like you look normal? Yeah,
All the time, everybody looks at me and says, "I wouldn't have known had you not told me."
yeah. You should have something on your head. At least I should too. Like I had a stroke. I mean, I don't know. You know, it's quite the journey. Yeah, Robin. Uh, where exactly are you from, or you're
I
living?
live in New Jersey.
Love it. I love it. I know a lot of people I've seen out in the stroke world from New Jersey. So you live there, and yeah, well, I was gonna say, I hate to get personal. Well, when you have a stroke, it's like your life's an open book. Do you live? Are
Yeah.
you living by yourself?
Right now, I am.
Yeah.
I live alone.
Wow. Wow. Any kids or family? I mean, what they think, or what your parents, what did they think when you had your stroke? Like, because I'm sure they knew. I would think our parents know what a stroke was. What did they think when you're at the hospital? Were they at the hospital during whatever the procedure you're going through?
Yeah, yeah. My family was so great. They made shifts so somebody would be with me 24 hours a day.
Oh, good.
My brother was with me 8 hours. My mom was with me overnight. And my dad was with me in the morning. And thank God they did that because one time I remember I was at the hospital. It was in the middle of the night. I had had a breathing tube inserted in my mouth, but they had removed it. And I was back out from the ICU. I was in a regular stroke floor. And that night, I began to choke. And my mother sounded the alarm because if she hadn't been there, nobody would have gotten to me in time.
Wow. Yeah. So lucky. Yeah. It worked out that your family was there. Uh, Good morning, Micro. Nice to see you. Here's a question too, from Kevin. Do you drive, and how long did it take?
I do drive, yes. And it took, I forget exactly what year I did driver's rehab. And
Wow.
I've been driving since. At first, that started really slow, and I wouldn't drive at night, but now it's back to normal. But I would say within the first 5 years.
Good, good. Do you have any seizures?
I do not.
That's good stuff. Good stuff. So the hemorrhagic stroke, you can't take blood thinners. If I think, yeah, um, it is. I mean, scary for you a bit. I bet. Yeah. Um, so you're 2005 is when you had your stroke. So you're like coming up on you're 19, about 20 years coming up here, which is
Mhm.
that's awesome. So how's your people? I'm sure people are going to ask like walking, ability to walk. You don't wear an AFO, probably no device on your leg, or
Nothing right now. I did wear one for a long time, but now I'm fully walking normally, minus a sprained ankle at the moment, but everything's good. And my next goal is to run. I don't run yet, but I will.
wow, good for you. Wow, 25 years old. Yeah, you probably could see. if you, yeah, I can see you're looking on the right side, which is good. I mean, to see, you know, did you get dizzy? Yeah, Cindy, cross-eyed. I mean, your legs, your eyes went cross-eyed because of the muscles. Is that what it was?
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. I see. Yeah, I know a lot of people out here that going through the same thing as a stroke. I don't want to say newbies, but newer than you. Um, and this is great hearing do you move both arms now? Do you have foot drop? You know,
I do move both arms, thankfully, and I did have foot drop, especially at the beginning, and that to do what's called serial casting to get my foot from this position back up to normal. And for a long time, I still had foot drop, not as bad as in the beginning, but that somehow resolved.
wow.
And I did
Good.
a lot of therapy, Cindy, a lot of therapy.
You did.
My family was, they all turned into freaking Nazis. I would be home and my brother would come over. He would make me exercise. My mother, we had a recumbent bike, the kind where you sit like a chair.
Yeah.
I sat down. I couldn't even pedal. My feet slid right off.
Yeah.
So what did my mom do? She tied my feet to the pedals.
But that's a good thing. I mean, I know you're thinking, this. I know sucks. Whatever you know, it's just it's a lot of work. But luckily, they're there to push you.
Yeah, and I'll be forever grateful because it was because of them that I made such a wonderful recovery.
Right. Right. Any other lasting effects that you have now? I mean, is there anything?
I would say just my sexy voice.
Yoo-hoo! I love it. Oh, that's awesome though. Yeah. How long did you ride your bike? Um,
I used to do it every day for I don't know how long
long enough.
until I was well enough to go to a gym and do it there.
Nice, nice. Wow. So currently, you still go to the gym? Do you work and all that?
You know, right now I'm taking a pause from the gym. I do a lot of yoga, and yes, I am working. And the reason I'm working is because one couple of years ago, I think it was in 2020, I saw an ad for a program on nutrition, and I thought, oh my gosh, that sounds so cool. And then my second thought was, but I don't need this because I have a very good diet and I already work out modified, but I work out. But something inside me kept nudging me forward, and I decided to do the program anyway. And I rationalized it to myself by saying, okay, I'm just going to learn something new about a topic I already like, which is nutrition.
Sure.
Well, within 3 months, some of my white hair turned dark. I was more out, pardon me, I was more outspoken. My hair, skin, and nails were so much better. I was the same weight from high school. And these are just little wins that I had, but the really huge things began to happen within 6 months of living the principles I already learned. And all of a sudden, I began to hike, which is something I could have never in a million years done prior to this program. And
Right.
now I was hiking 3 hours, 4 hours with no pain, and I could not believe it. And my blood pressure became normal. It had never been normal, even prior to having a stroke. And all of a sudden, I go to the doctor, and the person who takes it looks at me and says, oh, it's 120 over 80. And they didn't know my history. And I was like, what? She goes, yeah, it's normal. It's 180 or 120, 120 over 80. And I thought to myself, it's never been normal. It's always been 90 over 60, really low.
Wow. Um,
And I recovered.
that's
Go ahead, ask.
awesome. Yeah. You see the question here from Serena.
Hey, Serena, I would say if you're talking about my feelings of well-being, I'm very happy. I'm happy. And I can say that when I changed my nutrition, that changed my mental chemistry. It made me happier.
Wow. How long you been doing this? I mean, because I know for almost 20 years out post stroke, and you decide you saw an ad in the paper, and you said, what the heck? I'm going to try this and see if it helps. Can't hurt. What do you think? I don't know.
Yeah. And I was amazed because now I was suddenly recovered 20% more after 15 years. And I could not believe it. So I was like, this is the Holy Grail. I have to show people this. And that's what I do now. I became a coach.
Wow. So now do you call yourself a life coach, or do you call yourself? Because I know you have your own website here, genuinely Maria. I love it. .com. And what's that about? I mean, genuinely Maria.com.
It's about the program that changed my life so much. And I wouldn't so much call myself a life coach. I would say a nutrition coach or a health and wellness coach because what I teach is all about nutrition.
God, that's great. And did a stroke did high blood pressure cause you stroke? I know a brain bleed is a burst like mine, but was it a what caused it? Do you know? Was it
I was told that birth control is the only risk factor.
okay? Yeah, so birth control caused it. Isn't that
Yes,
crazy? Wow.
it's not the first time I hear that. So
Yeah, no, I've heard that before, but just hard to believe a birth control. But I who knew? I don't know, but wow.
it's hard to believe because when you go to the doctor and they prescribe you
Yes,
these things, they don't tell you, oh, by the way, you may have a stroke. They don't tell you that.
yeah, exactly. That's crazy, unbelievable. Um, I know. I love these comments. Thank you, Heather, for a comment here. It's well, you yeah, you can read it. I just keep bringing them up. You sound so great, and you're doing so well. I'd love to see it and your positive
Yeah, there's
attitude. I love Heather. I love everyone. It's awesome. And Marcelo, nice to see you out here in this wonderful stroke world, TBI world. But yeah, so it started. So is there something different? I'm always curious because so many people, high blood pressure, even after we're taking meds that the doctor prescribed meds to control our cholesterol. Does your program, whatever, does it help the cholesterol too?
it does. It does. I have two clients, one who was taking cholesterol medication 20 years, and now he finally stopped taking it. And I have another one now who's reduced his medication for cholesterol significantly, and they're looking to take him off.
Wow, interesting. Yeah, I'm just so curious about that because um, genuinelymaria.com. I put it up here, but when I bring a comment up, it takes it away. But so if anybody here is watching or even is watching and not making comments, that's okay too. Genuinelymaria.com. Does it show like okay, I'm naive. Does it show your food? Like, okay, it's keto or it's the high protein and very little carbs. I'm just thinking because that's what I always thought. Okay, I'm gonna eat a lot of protein. High good protein.
It does not say exactly what it is because the program itself is 3 months, and it'd be very easy for me to sit here and tell you, oh, don't eat this. But most people would not even follow that, or they may try that, and then once their willpower is done, which may be 5 minutes for some, and
Yeah.
5 days for others. Then you're done. But the program itself takes people through their food psychology so they don't return to old ways.
Yeah.
It works on your psychology. It's so much more than just nutrition. And I don't give you a list and say, here, go do this.
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way at all. It's
Yeah.
more like 1 week built on the other, and when everything goes very slowly so that you have a chance to adjust.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I know there's a Mr. Jerry Chapman. There's a good man there. Does your eyes did your eyes get better naturally?
I wish. No, what happened was there was a stroke eye doctor. I don't even know what their specialty is. And he put prisms on my glasses. And then there were eye exercises that I had to do with beads on a rope.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I had a gal on from Russia, and that was a big thing. She was doing the eye some stuff for the eyes, eye sticks. Oh God, if she's watching, I know I'm butchering it, but I some kind of sticks that they use for that kind of for the peripheral vision or something. Um, I know seriously. I did pay Savannah. I did pay attention, but memory, I'm going to use it as an excuse. I forgot. So does it help
It
with the
happens.
memory? Yeah. Wow.
Um, I don't have a specific experience with somebody who had trouble with their memory, but I would be surprised if it did not help. Right now, it helps so many things, and I haven't. I'll give you a couple of experiences I had with non-stroke people, and one was an 86-year-old woman. She was injecting insulin for 10 years, and after about 8 weeks, she stopped. Somebody who had fatty liver, 20 years. In 3 months, they had no more fatty liver.
Wow.
Somebody averted a sciatic operation, which you would never think has anything to do with nutrition.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Wow. So yeah, I see, Heather. Same thing about birth control caused it. It's a good point about you know um, the doctors prescribed you that. Say, oh, by the way,
Yeah. And they don't tell you what the risks are.
right? Exactly. Wow. Yeah, I know. I love hearing the story. You're so inspiring to us. Um,
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
yeah, absolutely. So when you had your strike. I hate to I always go travel around here. So 4 months in the hospital, and then when you got out, did you continue outpatient therapy?
Oh, yes. First, I had to be potty trained,
Yeah,
right? I couldn't go to therapy until I was potty trained. So, in that time, I had somebody come to my house and do therapy. And then, once I was able to go to the bathroom by myself,
right.
I went back into therapy.
Yeah, good for you. Yeah, I know. Yeah, so I know you had to. I know. That's good, Heather. But yeah,
Yeah,
no
I'm ready.
medication.
What's that?
She takes no medication, Heather.
Yes, and I'm reading your comments, Heather. That is fantastic. I take no medications either, and you can definitely become independent like you once were. That was also my big thing. Because I used to travel. I lived in Germany and I traveled in South America all before the stroke. And then once I had the stroke, I thought, oh my gosh, where's my life? What has become of my life?
Yeah,
I thought it was, wow,
over.
I wanted to die. Yeah.
Yeah. So you did go through in the beginning, the don't want to bring it up, but you did go through the mental like breakdown type of depression um, but luckily for you, you had an amazing support system, and I'm sure they kept you out of that for the most part.
And the thing that helped me so much, not only the support of my family, but I would say that that black cloud over my head
Hmm.
started lifting when I decided to do yoga, which
Huh.
I never would have thought. I was just doing it because I thought that's easy enough. I can modify the postures and I could follow the class. And once I started doing yoga regularly, that depression lifted.
Wow. Great to hear that. My goodness. Do you still do yoga?
Yes.
Nice. So what's your daily routine then like?
Get up in the morning, do yoga. Get up in the morning, yoga. Do a couple of other mental things. Sometimes I meditate, sometimes I don't. Right now, I'm working on the second edition of my book.
What's the name of your book?
The book is called Breaking into the Light, a journey of self discovery and transformation.
And that can be bought on Amazon.
Not at the moment because we took it down as I work on my second edition.
Oh, okay.
But if you look it up with my name, you could probably see the cover, and not just on Amazon. You can look it up in any browser if you're interested.
Nice.
Otherwise, if you want the first edition, reach out to me and we can do something like I'll mail it to you.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully you guys can see that. Yeah. There's a question here too from Jerry. You saw that one, I'm sure.
Jerry, I did drink alcohol a little bit when I first, before I had this, let me rephrase that. Before I had the stroke, I drank like a fish. I drank on the weekends, but I had to drink on the weekends. It was like I was a very big party person.
Before you
After,
started talking or after?
before,
Okay.
and then after, I really, it was difficult to keep. Well, I couldn't keep that up, but whenever I drank one drink or even two drinks, my body would be in much worse shape than my mind. So I'd look totally incoherent when I actually was coherent and I couldn't walk or talk. So I said, all right, I'm kind of done with this. And I just drank less and less and less. And today I don't really drink at all.
Huh. Yeah, good for you. Good for you. Wow. Well, I'm sure you are because you're doing a new nutrition program. That's probably I'm sure the drinking is not like well maybe you can have wine or a glass. Well, I don't know how it works, but
Well, the more good stuff you put in your body, the more your own body, starts to reject the things that are not working in your favor. And I would say alcohol is a pretty, all food can be considered a slow poison or a fast remedy.
right. Wow. Well, that's yeah, me too, Serena. Isn't it great? Amazing to meet somebody 20 years out post stroke. Yeah, it is amazing. Well, so what do you tell people that are going through it, a stroke, and you're at that time you're 25 years old, and they that are kind of I don't want to say new here that are going through it now. I mean, there's hope,
Keep the hope. It's taken me this long to get to where I am.
but
There's
you're
always hope.
yeah. And do you reach out? Do you go to do you go to stroke support groups, or you go to anything like that, or any time, or you just talk to people?
I do not go to stroke support groups. However, this year I began to deliver talks for stroke associations. And I have a talk coming up on January 3rd for, I believe, Vermont, for the Stroke Association
Oh,
of Vermont.
nice.
Yeah.
Wow. So you're traveling there to do this.
No, we're doing it virtually. virtually, which
Oh,
is
oh,
nice.
that there you go. That's good. I'm glad you're doing that. It's so important to. I mean, it's probably a great spokesperson because you're 20 years out. The people that are new at this thing, I know, felt like my life was over. That's it. I mean, I can't move. Especially you couldn't, like, from here down, you're out.
I couldn't even talk. I couldn't
Yeah,
do anything.
yeah,
Yeah. And it took a while for them to even realize that I was trapped in my body. They thought I was in a vegetative state, and they
yeah,
thought that the eye blinking was involuntary.
yeah. Wow. And who knew? Now look at you.
Yeah.
Wow. You got a lot of good things to be thankful for.
So many, so
Yeah.
many. And for everybody out there, just do not lose hope and take a lot of action. Move your body, work on your nutrition because that's the basis, foundation of everything. Because I feel like had I known what I know today about nutrition,
Yeah.
my recovery could have been cut in half and I might have recovered even more.
Wow. So I agree, Jerry. You've inspired me so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry.
Yeah. So I'm gonna bring this up again here. Genuinely, Maria. So if someone wants to get, how do people get a hold of you? They right here or
If they go to this website, there's a page to book a consultation with me. Just click on the button, free of charge, and let's have a conversation.
that's great. So that because I saw a lot of people regarding nutrition and talking about that. I know, I know. So, it's nice to see you out here. Um, yeah, so I know it's important. But you do. I mean, can we have those free days? I'd love to have a free day. Where I just want something like a Philly cheesesteak sandwich. I mean, I love those. Or cheeseburgers. Is that okay to like one day go to that place?
Sure, you can do whatever you want because this is about what feels good to you. And it's not about restriction, it's not about dieting, it's about you making the choices that best serve you with awareness.
Okay.
I'm not here to tell you you can't have that. Not at all.
Yeah. Good stuff, man. This is awesome. I appreciate it very much. This is good. So, what else with your stroke? Because it led up to where you are now. I mean, the stroke. I mean, are you more? Because I'm more passionate now since I had my stroke of my what
More,
I'm doing.
oh, passionate. Yeah. Yeah,
Yes.
I feel like I had to go through these 20 years of, well, it wasn't all hell, but it was a lot of freaking hell.
Yeah.
I feel like I had to go through that so I could be here today doing what I do.
Yeah. That's awesome. That, yeah. It's good. Good to know that we're not alone. That's yeah. I agree. So man, this is great. I really appreciate you inspiring us all and sharing. I mean, how many people completely like locked in syndrome? You can't move and do anything, and now look, not even 20 years out, you're still you can actually you're thinking about running. I mean, wow,
That's the next one. Yeah.
well, you have the goals. Wow, and I like you said earlier, me too. Celebrate those little wins. You look back and think, wow, look how I was, and now look.
Yeah. Huge. And I've been going back and reading my book this week, and there were some parts that I hadn't thought of in a long time, and I thought, wow, I really went through a lot of crap.
Yeah, absolutely. And I understand. So writing your book, here's one other thing I always think of because I've been okay. I'm really close to finishing mine, but then I talk to like my kids or somebody. Do you remember what you did? Here talking to the birds or whatever. Oh, I should put that in the book. So that's why it's taking forever because always learning new things about me.
Yeah. And that's great. Just put them all in a notebook, and then when you go and write your book, you have everything there.
Yeah,
I had
yeah,
to interview people as well.
yeah, yeah. Me too. I'm out there, but yeah, that's good for you. So, oh, well, that's awesome. So you're interviewing people too. You're out there just well, probably because of your nutrition too is helping out a lot of people. I mean, well, it's changed your life. No more meds. Because I'm sure in the beginning, especially with all, the trach and all this other stuff you're on, you were probably on a lot of meds.
Oh my God. I was taking, I think, 30 or 40 pills a day. Unbelievable.
Yeah. And now, nothing.
Nothing.
Oh, that's good. Good for you. Man, I really appreciate you being on here. It all worked good. The stream,
Yeah,
you
we had a
went
little technical issues coming in, but it all worked out. So
absolutely, absolutely. I agree. Okay, and once again, there's Maria's website there, Maria, genuinely Maria.com. And if you want to check it out and check her out and get her free console to see how that, I know, me too, or I know. Um,
thank you.
yeah, so if you want to talk to you to see if it's right for you, everybody has their own feeling, and that's okay. If you don't, you know, think it's right for you, then you don't think it's right for you. But if you do, that's awesome. I see it.
That's a good question. That's a good question, Jerry.
Yeah, I want to know this question. Thank you, Jerry, because I I have 2 cups a day.
Okay, that's fine. And do you guys know what caffeine is? When I heard this story, I was so shocked. Caffeine is actually the coffee beans insecticide. It's its way of not being eaten by insects. And that's what caffeine is. And I was so blown away by that. I thought, wow, that's what it is.
Wow. Um, so, do you drink it?
I do it when I need it, but I need it like once a year
That's
because
it?
my energy is so steady.
Yeah.
I don't have ups and downs. I just have very steady energy. But I do recall a few times where I've been maybe up all night doing something, and then I needed the caffeine the next day to just be safe, drive, and not kill myself.
Wow. Yeah. Thank you, Kevin, for checking that out.
Yes, Kevin, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't even know why I drank it. I can still remember in the 30s when I had my real good first job. Everybody's drinking coffee, so I figured, I'll try it. And that's ever since. I don't even know why I'm drinking. I mean, do you like it? It's not the greatest. I mean, unless I put a little creamer, sugar-free creamer, though. Uh, you know, so,
But it's very addictive. It's really addictive. People that go off caffeine for a week, they have tremendous headaches.
so true. My daughter-in-law, one of my daughter-in-law, is same thing. She's going through like withdrawal type symptoms off of caffeine. Wow.
Yeah. Isn't that scary? Like, that should tell us something.
Yeah, that's yeah. She's pregnant, but still, I mean, that's why she doesn't drink it for that reason. But she's having withdrawals from that. I don't know what kind of whatever, but it's poor thing. Wow, I know. I love this. This is good. I know. Heather, check her. You go to Genuinely Maria. See if it's right for you because it sounds like. I mean, this is awesome. I gonna have to put my 2 cents in there and see if I will be. what do you call it? You're hurting your body kind of guy.
I'd love to see what happens for you, and I'd love to see what happens for people in this community because if I can heal 20% more 15 years after a stroke, what can you do?
Yeah,
I got
15. Yeah,
my limb back.
wow. Yeah, because I'm 13 years out, and you were 15 when you started your program, and it
Yeah,
worked. And it worked good.
it worked.
Nice. I'm glad to hear that. That really is encouraging. So I appreciate that, and I appreciate you sharing your story. From going to the hospital and they recognized that you had a stroke, and you were there
Yeah.
for not a stroke.
I thought I had food poisoning.
Wow,
Yeah.
good old food poisoning. Who knew?
Who knew, right?
Yeah. Gosh. Any other last words you'd like to share with everybody out there?
Yeah, I would say that the very, very, very foundation is hydration. How
Mm,
much water are you drinking?
yeah.
Pay attention to that because it's really, really important. When I first heard or that I was told, we're doing this week, drink more water, I thought, I'm not having any more water. I'm not thirsty and I can't drink that water. But it's so important. And at first, it's like a dry sponge. You might have to pee a lot because the water can't even, the sponge cannot absorb the water. But it's really, really, really important. I made a difference. I noticed a difference within 3 days. All of a sudden, I was waking up and my eyes were wide awake rather than groggy like I used to be.
Right.
Makes a big difference for your energy.
Yeah, that I understand. And the only thing I always think of, I drink a lot of water. Well, not as much as I should, but I am so tired of getting up in the middle of the night going, I have to go pee. I mean, that's the thing that I just want one night's sleep without that.
That's another thing. Try to maybe drink your water earlier in the day, not so close to bed. That might help you.
All right.
But there might also be other things going on.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. Um, this is awesome. Well, again, I appreciate it, and I appreciate you sharing everything what you've shared. Uh, I I know. I think there is. You see
Jerry, I'm going
there?
to answer your question. I think there's, just like there's too much of anything, there's too much oxygen, there's too much of everything. But to get to too much water, I would say you'd have to be drinking over a gallon. That might be overkill. But everything up to maybe 3 liters or a gallon, that's not too much.
Yeah. You, you got to get used to it. I'm completely sure you got to get used to it.
And do it with common sense. I mean, I'm not very big. I'm 5'2", so I don't drink a gallon of water because I'm so little. Right? But if you're a big man or a bigger woman, you might want to drink more.
Yeah. Interesting. There's got to be some kind of. Um, I cat Catherine. I do the water by 6 p.m. Oh, okay. Morning, Jocelyn. Yeah, yeah, that's good. Okay, so you stop at 6 p.m. Wow. I, yeah, I'll have to look into what I'm because yeah, I don't keep track of it. I just have my okay. There it is. I do have it here to for my water.
You know how
Oh,
much water it carries? Because if you know how much water it carries, then you can just keep track of how many glasses or
yeah,
how many
yeah,
cups you had.
yeah. I think it's. I don't. I My wife knows. I don't know, but she told me how much I should be drinking, and I don't. She says I don't drink enough. So
Listen to your wife.
Oh gosh, I know. She says she's right. I just say yes, dear. Uncertain things. So get myself in trouble here.
Happy wife, happy life, right?
Very true. Very true. And I thank you so much too, Jerry. Thanks so much. Yes, I appreciate you again being here, sharing your journey. That's what it is. It's a journey. So um,
It's been a real pleasure.
yeah, it's been a pleasure for me too as well to have you on. So definitely stay in touch, and we'll definitely I'll reach out to you. And if again someone wants to get a hold of you, they can go there. But you're on social media too.
I am, but you're probably going to find me there. My name is Maria Garcia, as you can see, and there's a whole lot of Maria Garcias in this country. So you might have a difficult time finding me if you put in my name.
Yeah,
Um, so the easiest thing would be for me to send you a request, but that way we have to contact each other first.
yeah, yeah. And like me, I always go through because this is recorded. This show on every social media platform, um, Twitter, everything. LinkedIn, YouTube. So I saw a lot of people from. I still can see who's watching on YouTube here, and several Facebook pages. I don't know if you put it on yours. I sent you that link for that one too. So yeah, cool. Well, good. And a lot of people watch the replay because they can't. I saw a few people told me they can't watch, but they'll watch it on replays. So thank you, Bina. And then they ask questions. So I appreciate it too. And um and I'll send you if you can't find it, I'll send you copies or whatever, and you could see it and answer their questions. I'm sure people got questions. You may get a lot of people from genuinely Maria.com.
I
That's
hope
awesome.
so. I hope
Yeah,
so because I want to see what your transformation is going to be like.
yeah. I mean,
And
because
I
you
want to
have
help you.
some, yeah, exactly. Because you've seen the success, and it'd be great to help other people because you know what we're going through. So, well, awesome. Well, thank you once again. I appreciate it, and you have a great rest of your day and have a great weekend. But I'll be in touch.
Okay, beautiful weekend. And I'll also send you my Facebook link so you could add it to the show notes if you can do that.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, definitely. You send it to me, and I'll put it in the comments, and we'll so people can find you and they know how to get a hold of you. So, yeah. So, okay. Well, that sounds great. Well, take care of yourself and everybody here that is here, and watches on the replay. Thank
Thank
you.
you for watching.
Absolutely.
I'll
Bye.
talk to